So in this video you will be migrating to Palo Alto firewalls and IHA configuration to Panorama. So the management interface and the intros interface are basically just on the next hop like this. It's just basically logging on 192.168.0.0/24 subnet. Panorama is actually also on the same subnet, and the exact IP address for that is 192.168.0.50. And there's a trust interface which is like, well, just made, and it's 192.168.10.1/24. So yeah, you'll be migrating this to Panorama. So let's get started. So head over to the firewall, go to General, and you want to disable config sync. You will actually just enable the back after migrating it. So commit this and do the same thing for the passive device. And commit. Okay, so the configuration is committed. Let's go to the dashboard, and we actually need the serial keys of the firewall. So let's go to Panorama and go all the way down to device registration out key and click add. Name it whatever, just give it whatever hours you actually want. This is the lifespan of the key, how long it actually is valid. I mean, you just use it like 2 times and then, well, you can delete it. And then you want to copy paste serial keys in here of the devices. So you have to do this twice. Press OK. Copy the out key. Go to the firewalls. Go to device. Setup. And over here you see Panorama settings. Enter the IP address or FQDN of the Panorama appliance and copy paste the out key. Press OK. Commit this. Go to the secondary firewall and do the exact same thing. Setup, Panorama settings. Enter the IP address or FQDN of the appliance. Copy paste the out key. And just commit. Let's go to Panorama, go all the way to manage devices in summary. We will add it here as well. Uncheck associate devices. Again, copy paste the serial keys. Press OK, and then commit to Panorama. Okay, so the commit is completed. Let's just refresh and see if the devices are connected to Panorama. But we can actually just see the management IP address, yes, and device aid is connected. So the next step is basically to import the configuration. The current configuration that I actually have on the firewall, let's see, it's just a single basic policy, a null policy, and if you go to network, we just have like a basic virtual router. The interfaces are configured like this, and we have like 2 security zones. So yeah, let's import it. Go to Panorama, Setup, Operations, Import Device Configuration to Panorama. Select the device, choose Florida 1. You don't want to have this box checked, because I mean, like like I will just put it in the shared group, and I mean I will just I just don't recommend it. You actually want to uncheck this box. It's just terrible. Press OK. And do the same thing for the other firewall. So Florida 2. Uncheck this. Press OK. And now actually just commit to Panorama. Okay, so let's actually just check if it was successfully imported to Panorama. So we will go to Policies, select the corresponding firewall, in this case Florida 1. Let's go to Pre-Rules, and it should be this one. And yeah, it actually is important. Let's check the NOT rules as well. Yeah, it is. And if we go to Network, select the firewall, Florida 1, interfaces. Yep, seems to be fine. Florida 2. Yeah, seems to be fine. Now the next step is basically to push it to the device. If we go over here, well, it's still not well pushed from Panorama. We can also see that nothing has been pushed from Panorama. So we will do that right now. So you go to Panorama, Setup, Operations, Export or Push Device Config Bundle, select Florida 1, press OK, and you actually have to push and commit. What this will do will actually just remove the local configuration on the firewall and push the Panorama configuration to the firewall. So click push and commit. And let's do this again for the second firewall, Florida 2, this one, press OK, push and commit. Let's go to task and see the progress. Seems to be done. So let's go to the firewall to double check. If you go to security, this time around you actually just see it yellow, so it's basically just Panorama managed, and it also means that it is pushed by Panorama. And if you actually just create like test policy, let's do this and this, that's fine. And you can actually just see like it's just the usual white background, and this one is actually just from Panorama. Let's remove this policy, or actually just reverse changes. Okay, that's fine. And we go back to Panorama. So the issue currently is we have like two device groups basically, as you can see. And if you go to Network tab, we also have like two template stacks. Basically what we want is a single template stack and a single template and a single device group, because they are just identical, so it makes no sense to have like two device groups and two templates and two template stacks. We want to merge it into a single one. So let's go to Panorama, go to templates, go to Florida 2 stack, remove the template, uncheck Florida 2, remove the default visas to none, press OK. At this point you can actually just delete Florida 2 stack, and you can also delete the Florida 2 template. let's go to Florida 1 stack and just rename it, rename it to like HA stack. And this time around select the second firewall as well. Press OK. Go to the template, Florida 1, and rename this HA. And double check if it's actually updated. It did, so the template is up to date. And we go to device groups, and we actually see Florida 1 and Florida 2. So let's go to Florida 2, uncheck it, and delete it. Go to Florida 1, rename it HA, select Florida 2, and take the Florida HA stack. Technically you could actually go with the stack, but you never actually just make any configurations in the stack. At least I don't. It's just so much easier to do it on the templates. You can add multiple templates, and basically it's like from top to bottom. The first one is the mesh, that's the one that's selected, and that takes priority. Essentially the same thing as security policies on the firewall, the same principle. Okay, let's press OK. There's one more change that I actually just want to make, in case you actually just use user ID. Go to device groups, select the pair, and actually select the active firewall that is always active, and store users, and check this box because you will need this. So you can actually just make security policies based on user ID credentials. Press OK, go to templates, select the stack, again choose the active firewall. Last change that I actually just want to make, we actually need to SSH into the Panorama appliance, so let's do that. Get into configure modes and just issue the following command. This will actually just delete the HA configuration from the template, so that it actually is managed by the firewall locally. And at this point we can actually just commit to Panorama. Okay, so the configuration committed successfully, and you will also notice that the commit button is actually just gone and is replaced by this. It just means that all the recent changes already are applied, and there are just no pending changes, so we can actually straight ahead go to push the devices, and you will see the stacks, and you have to add the selections, and this is the only time that you actually just force the template values at the beginning, and you just press OK. Often if you're actually just in the future down the road, like running into issues like commit errors and so forth, you can actually just force template values that will also fix that issue, but you have to be careful with this, and just press push. And now we will actually see that it is committing to the stack and to the device group. Okay, so at this point it's successfully committed, so let's head back to the firewalls and go to device, high availability, and just enable config sync again. Let's enable it and just push it, and let's go to device for the secondary firewall and enable config sync here as well, and just commit it. Okay, so at this point we actually just want to test if you're actually just making a change to policies or objects, whether it actually just pushes successfully to the device group. And same thing for the template stack if you're actually just making any change in the network and device settings. So let's just test it. Go to objects. The first thing you actually just wanted to do is basically create a log forwarding profile to actually just forward logs from the firewall to Panorama. So then just name a default. This is very important because whenever you actually just create a new security policy, it will automatically just pick this profile, the default one. Press add, select the log type, and in this case it's traffic, name it traffic, and make sure that you select the Panorama Cortex LLA checkbox. Press OK. Repeat the step for like threads as well. Name it thread and enable the Panorama checkbox. And just keep doing this for literally every single one. I'm just going to cancel out, and I'm actually just going to pick this configuration from another firewall, and I will actually just take this default one and just clone it, uncheck this, select the firewall, the Florida one, press OK, and go back to the Florida one. It was actually named default -1, so I will just remove that and press OK. And now we can actually just go to the policies, and we will go to the, we will just take our security policy, the basic one, and just select for log forwarding the default one. That's done. You will actually just create a new security policy. Just allow zoom, source will be trust, destination will be untrust, the application will be zoom. Okay, it has a lot of dependencies, like there are other apps that you have to allow, so you will select all of them and add to current rule. And you go to actions, and you will notice that the log forwarding profile is automatically just default, so it's automatically configured. You just press OK. The next thing I actually just want to do is, this is basically your, the interzone default. I want to override that, so press override, go to actions, log as session ends, and select the default forwarding profile. So basically, if there's actually just anything drop from untrust to trust or trust to untrust, it will be actually just logged and eventually also sent to Panorama. Press OK. So for the template stack, we will actually just create a security zone. Just name it whatever you want. We will not assign it to an interface. It's just purely for testing purposes. And at this point, we can actually just commit and push. What this does is basically it commits to Panorama, and after that it will push the devices. It's just in a single click. The best practice is basically to commit to Panorama, because I will just tell you if you made an error or not, and then I will actually push it to devices. But if it actually just fails to commit to Panorama, I will not push it to the devices. But if you're actually just confident that will work, and I'm quite confident that it will work, so I will just do it in a single click. And this time around, you do not have to force template values, there's no reason to. And just commit and push. Let's go to tasks, and the device group is actually committed, and the template stack as well. Let's go to Panorama and go to manage devices and summary, and let's just check. So for Florida, it actually is in sync, the shared policy, so the device group, and the template is also in sync, so the template stack. The next thing that you actually just want to do is like configure a log forwarding collector. So go to manage collectors and press add. Add a disk, which should be 1 terabyte. And go to collectors group and add a group collector. select your Panorama serial number, go to device log forwarding. Over here you will see a list of devices, and you modify it and you just include Florida 1, Florida 2. You press OK. And that's it, and you will actually just commit and push. So we'll actually just commit it to the collector group, which is actually a part, but it's actually just like a device within Panorama itself, so it's not a firewall. Commit and push. Let's go to tasks. So successful. Let's go to the firewall. Okay, so we can see a ping. Let's check the second firewall. This one should not have the log at all. And let's go to Panorama, monitor, select the Florida firewall. Might take a bit before it actually is ingested into Panorama. And we can see that it's actually sent to Panorama. So that's it.